Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Got a crew with me today, and we're all coming to your house and we're going to take your lunch money. No, actually, we're going to play some Marvel FASERIP because everybody does bagged lunch nowadays. So anyway, we got Scott is here. We got Rowan is here. We got Paul is here. We got Victor is here. And we got Clark is here. And we are going to kick butt and take names. In fact, Clark, Atlanta Droid, y'all know who he is, right? Not just any old Green Lantern. I want the name Kyle Rayner, which is freaking awesome. So, Kyle, you right away, I'm going to give you 60 karma points because that is a freaking epic design. Actually, hold up the book. The reason why you got the extra. Got his first appearance and everything. Look at this. Look at this freaking guy, man. It's just ridiculous. Unbelievable. I love it. Victor, what you wearing? Your Juggernaut?
Nah. I sat down here for all this time and forgot to grab the one thing I was going to show off, my little Godzilla pop.
You don't even have that?
No, it's upstairs in my room.
Okay. How about, I'm seeing something on your shirt there, Paul. What you got?
It's
Nice. Well, that's worth
Rebellion.
5. Did you get your comp copies by chance?
Yes, I got them last week. It was on a Wednesday, and then I bought a few copies myself.
Nice. You don't have any on you?
Well, no, you say that.
Chris, what do you got? Oh, that's 5 right there, Chris. There we go. Look at that. Oh, he's got a whole. I got mine already bagged and boarded. So, in case y'all don't know, Paul over here is an artist for DC Comics, and this is his second feature. The first one was in Dog Days of Summer. This is the Valentine's Day relief, The Crimes of Passion.
Oh yeah.
And Paul actually did the Green Arrow and Black Canary story in here. The first story he did back in DC's Dog Days of Summer might wind up ticking off Clark over here, the Atlantroid, because turns out he was drawing the Rage Kitty, Dexstar, the red cat Green Lantern. Yep. You've got a little Dexstar right there with you now, don't you?
I was thinking that, yeah.
And Scott, what do you got?
You expect me to top that?
No. Oh man,
you can always just say you're Lex Luthor.
See, I was literally thinking Professor X, and you just wow, man, you went evil.
You always go dark side. You always go right to the dark.
Right. So yeah, awesome, and if you guys do get the chance to go and pick up one of Paul's books, he'll happily sign it for you if you meet up with him because he's very grateful for all that good stuff. And
you have to come to the UK though, so.
Well, maybe we can sneak you over someplace. You know, I was going to say the Northern Hemisphere, the West Coast, the Western Hemisphere. Anyway, shut up, I'm tired. So, for crying out loud, what else we got here? I think that's it. Okay, so who wants to talk about what happened last week? I'm going to mute myself and sugar myself up some chocolate-covered peanuts
and
so
just
I can
nod.
stay awake. Yep, and point occasionally. All right, who wants to take it?
All right, I missed the first half.
You know what?
So.
In fact, let's not just do what happened in the last episode. This is episode 7. Including this episode, we got 4 episodes left of this season. I don't know, man. What's happened since the first episode? Go.
Well, we started off at an event that we had Mr. Stark up on stage. It was attacked by Avalanche, Pyro, and the Blob. Mr. Knuckle Duster decided that he was, possibility of a Magneto there. We're not sure. Knuckle Duster decided to go hand to hand with Avalanche and Knuckle dusted him.
Okay, that was actually good, but we don't need a play-by-play. Damn. What else happened? All the other episodes.
Are we doing it? I guess we're doing it in order. So, we saved the day. Knuckle Duster had his way. I helped him take out the blob. They got arrested. There was like some crazy alien machine that was magnetic and all these, and everybody thought it was Magneto, but we're not sure if it really was him or not. And then they all wound up getting arrested and sent to the raft. And we tried investigating the building that the machine was in. Then there were the rest of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants showed up and busted their buddies out. There was like a giant sea monster, and which wound up not being a sea monster, or maybe it was. It was only in our mind. Who knows? And then there was like a shark-like dude trying to bust his holes, and we want to make him friends with Shield, but we're not friends with Shield. We're kind of like on the DL. It's so it was just crazy shit going on. And then all right, take it away, Alien Android.
After being dubbed Shield's side chick,
we were Shield's side chick. That's great.
I specifically got word from the Kingdom of Atlantis that Namor was going to be threatened when he went to speak at the United Nations for a attack that Atlantis had recently suffered. The meeting was to bring out the whoever was responsible. Namor was there to find out who.
That was either a cat butt or a tribble. What is this? What is this feline porn I'm seeing on my channel, man?
That was just a close up of Paul's beard. That's all.
But and thankfully, with the skill and high level of perception, Solasta and Nephilim were able to thwart a would-be sniper that we later found out to be Crossbones. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And from there, things just really hit the fan. Dark Spirit, why don't you fill him in on the type of action you saw up on the roof of the building?
Yep, there was a few drones sent to bomb the roof. Managed to take out the first wave, but then had a few more with some robots as well. The roof finally got blown up. A bit of mayhem. Everyone inside started battling the robots. I saw Crossbones get away on a bike, and I followed him, and then became rather stupid. Decided to try and glide across to where he was hiding, and I got taken out. Just about survived.
Don't forget, there was like a hostess truck that had Hydra agents hiding in it, and Knuckle Duster, he was chilling out in the subway at the time, or no, it was a Quiznos. And when he came out, he, discovered this Hydra plot, and then he started to do knock 'em, sock 'em robots with the red robots that were there, because punking them out, because that's what he does. And then we had to find what remained of Dark Spirit after he decided to do his bungee jump without a cable.
Unfortunately, scrape him off the pavement.
That's cool. The police came armed with spatulas. They got everybody up. Okay, so I just finished my last chocolate-covered peanut, so I think we're good. I have to resupply before I go out my next field excursion, but yeah, I'm good. All right, so not bad. I did miss one little detail. What was the make of the machine from the first episode?
Kree.
Well, Kree, wasn't it?
Freaking weird, man. Okay. So yeah.
And we never really did track down where that machine actually got taken to, because other stuff kind of.
You were told that it went to Armor, the
That's right,
Shield Armor facility, which impenetrable. you think you're going to get into, maybe you could possibly break into Project Pegasus, but this is like 40 Project Pegasus is hidden inside of a vault, inside of a shrunken negative zone location. Like, there's no way you're getting this. But there's that. Anyway, so yeah, you guys are at the United Nations, and there's the big cleanup effort right now. And yeah. I'm going to say this is what happened. You didn't have any endurance loss, so you'll be able to, especially with the healing touch of Solasta. What do you call it? Would it be a messed up situation if the only way you could heal somebody if you stuck your finger up? You know what? Never mind.
And then he'd have to be Dr. Solasta or something.
And in order for it to work, you got to cough.
Just cough out.
Between that, the side chick from Clark, and
the cat butt.
And the cat butt and Rowan's, it could be real. It could have not been real. That's the last time I'm stopping by the evidence locker first.
Oh yeah, we forgot about the fear gun dude too. That was a good recap. That's why it's all we're all imaginary. We're only in Celesta's mind. We're not even real.
You guys are literally about 3 pounds worth of bacon working, functioning inside of a bone, running on like less electricity than what it takes to power a light bulb, and imagining all this 3D stuff around you. That's basically what's happening here. So you guys, this is the cleanup effort and whatnot. Namor and the crew is getting ready to leave. Namor especially is infuriated, and he looks around, and there's enough news cameras around. They come closer to him and whatnot. Like, King Namor, what do you think of all this? The man who tried to shoot you, internationally known terrorist, Crossbones. Like, he's known. I believe he was the one who assassinated Captain America all those years ago. Like, big deal. Some of his bodyguards come up and they, try to push him back and whatnot. And he walks over and just like moves them to the side. He looks in the cameras and he says, "I want this to be understood. Atlantis is not amused. We are going to war. The question is, with whom? It might just be everyone. There is no more political nonsense with this. I'm cutting through all the strings. Atlantis is readying itself for war. Find this man and bring forward the people who attacked Atlantis, or there is going to be war." And he leaves. People are shocked. They got, nowadays people use their cell phones even just to record voice and whatnot. And like everybody, I don't care if you got a big camera with a giant size fuzzy mic, the pop guard and whatnot or not. Everybody is freaked. Like, this is a big deal. People start running back to their news vans or turning their phone around and calling up, where they came from. And what are you 5 doing? Starting with Clark, the Atlantroid.
All right. The immediate thing is to make sure that the Hydra Guard doesn't take a cyanide cap or bite down on a false molar or something like that to hopefully keep him alive long enough and see if we can get something out of him.
Take 10 karma points because you are able to stop one of them from doing that.
Thank you. After we work with the prisoners, or at least make sure they don't KO themselves, I'm going to talk to those that are still alive from Atlantis Council, anyone there, and I need to find out if there's a new set of orders that I should be operating under, because while I have been operating with Oracle to increase the amount of positive interaction humans and Atlanteans have, or our business and trade, this sort of event or chain of events definitely seem to go against that goal. Should I be gathering allies or working covert to gather information?
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't need prompts. We're good. So advisor, the advisor that was with Atlantis, with Namor. He's also one of your contacts when Namor's busy, and Namor's busy.
Sure.
His name is Koran, and he says, listen, for now, unless Namor says otherwise, which I'm going to counsel him. Most of us are going to counsel him against. Keep Oracle open. You honestly might be the last chance to avoid any kind of a war. Namor is powerful. Atlantis is powerful, but Atlantis was devastated. We're still trying to dig through the rubble and find the bodies. The cleanup is not even finished yet. And the rebuilding process has barely begun. We do need peace. We need you to try and keep the peace. We need you to try and find this Crossbones guy. We need you to find out what the heck is going on. Who, like the most important thing here. If you can find Crossbones, that would probably be a really quick Band-Aid, but it's not going to fix everything. We need to find who nuked Atlantis, because you know the kind of weapons that we've got, and you know that we don't want to do that. And whatever salute Atlanteans have, it's probably who knows.
Likewise. I appreciate that. I'm gonna send a communication back to Oracle, and I want to, since we have at least the sensor to detect the extraterrestrial technology, I want
That's
to,
anybody breaking through the atmosphere to come in. If they're already here.
Sure. I just want to redirect the sensitivity to be for radioactive signatures and see if there's some type of lingering trail of a submarine, that, because most submarines have some type of reactor core that propels them. So just to see if we can find the ones that are in the ocean close by, then get that information to SHIELD and say, okay, so this is what we know of in the ocean. Check this with your records or with your info. If something shouldn't be there, then that's where we should go, because I imagine that SHIELD is able to keep tabs on many of the legitimate travels of submarines, both of the United States and of other nations. So that I just feel like that's something we could pursue.
Plus, I guess if under that same line of thinking, at Landroid, what is the range that a ballistic nuclear missile can be fired as a torpedo? You know what I mean? Are we assuming these were like airstrikes, or that they were fired underwater by a nuclear sub?
They saw a sub. Tiger Shark said he saw a sub, and it was confirmed by the Atlantean retinue.
Okay. Because I was going to say, maybe it would be good to check that perimeter ring from that possible distance of the range of what a nuclear torpedo could be fired at, and then see if there's any trails leading, follow that same radiation signature. I know what I'm saying, but you don't know what I'm saying.
Well, if you guys actually had, see, there already exists equipment to be able to identify RADs, basically units of radiation. We used to have them in the military, basically in the shape of a pen, and once it got up to 130, I think it was 130, maybe it was 120, us infantry soldiers would be like, uh-oh, that's the most we're allowed to take. which is still really, really bad. Support goes up to 90. So yeah, but actually being able to trace that doesn't actually exist in the real world. So
Okay.
you guys could potentially build such a device.
Okay.
What do you think the resource requirement would be for something like that?
Do you remember how to do the gadgeteering, Scott? Or shall I assist? You do? Okay. So how would this be done?
What we would have to do is figure out what
People
level
who didn't see my my videos.
what level we have to have it at.
Mhm.
Good, typical, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
You have the power rank of it. Say we want it at remarkable. You have to have your material strength of what the unit is made out of. If it's within 2 levels, it raises the cost of it.
Mhm.
If it's 2 levels below it, it does not affect the cost of it. What level do you think we would need to be able to trace it?
Remarkable 30 would do it. But there was one key thing in what I said.
We'd have to build it.
Well, no, that's included. Nothing like that actually exists in current
So
tech.
So it
that
wouldn't actually
would
be
raise,
the
that will
difficult
raise the cost of it.
the cost of it.
That would
And
raise it to monster 75 minimum. So
Yeah.
everything else that you're going to build is essentially whatever. But you have to be able to come up with a monstrous reason feat and monstrous resources. And then it will take 75 days to create. Game
75
time.
days to create,
Yeah, game time.
unless you have help
Yep.
that is within 1 reason rank of you,
Yes.
or you double time it, work
Mhm.
around the clock,
Yes.
or both.
Correct.
so if he had like a team building working on the same project, it wouldn't affect the construction time. The roles would only be based off of whoever, I guess, the lead assistant is.
Yeah,
Or
well, it depends. It depends on if somebody has within 1 reason rank of him. So your reason, you'd be going off of at least monstrous 75, probably more. But as long as somebody had at least amazing reason, and that includes with all of your talents, then realistically you'd need more direction than, it would take too much time away from the person anyway. So it wouldn't really do too much. Yeah, there'd be constant guidance required.
Okay, what about a less technical approach of contact shield to find out what subs should be in the area, and then with Atlantis and other contacts do a boots on the ground type of search out, fanning out
Atlantis
things.
doesn't have any official members that they can spare right now
Right.
for excursions.
Okay.
because they're still focused on cleanup and recovery right now.
Yeah, search and rescue, all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a way to modify or amplify like Geiger counter, so make it based off of a pre-existing technology, but so that would work underwater. I don't know if they do normally, or
Waterproofing something is one thing. Yeah, you could always waterproof something. That would, I don't know, make that like a remarkable 30 ability.
Okay.
But yes, that you can do.
How does the Marvel universe handle communication with sea life? Because we could also work with scouts that method. Rays, whales.
I don't know
things like
anybody that knows how to do it. That would be creating brand new tech.
Because I was just thinking that that we got so many eyes in the ocean that could get word back to us.
Hmm.
Not trying to say they're Little Mermaid level conscious, but
Hey, dolphins are really freaking smart. So you,
yeah, you know, like if you describe the shape or if they've seen a shape.
You'd have to have the tech. We could talk about this for 3 hours. It doesn't matter. You'd need the tech unless somebody's going to build that.
So
So
we're-
But I mean,
that
that's what
doesn't
And
I mean,
exist.
we
like,
can't get
so-
Stark to help us.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Who
so
has Stark as a contact?
we all do. We met him at early in the game.
I met
But
Bruce
But who
Springsteen
actually
once,
took him
me too.
as the contact?
but I can't. But neither Chris
I
or I
can't
can
call him
actually.
up. Yeah. Yo, Bruce, what's up?
Well,
Hey, man, how you
I
doing?
have, I know that I specifically have business contacts with Stark Industries when I met him in that one game because
You took the contact of Stark.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what do you want to do with it?
Well, specific because I was asking him about the Thomas Alva Edwards if he had any business dealings with him and things like that, and
Nice.
he didn't really have any info. So at this instance, if I'm reading between the lines and you're saying no, we can't use sea life, like Aquaman's able to speak to
Aquaman's
stuff.
DC.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Ask
Is there
Paul.
anybody? Is there anyone? Is there anyone in the Marvel universe that can do something? And then let's try and contact that person to try and.
Not to that level. No.
Okay.
And realistically, I can't just
Make up a dude or
Yeah, the
you know,
best thing that you know of would be there's characters, but like that would be metagaming. The best that you know of is that Namor has shown that he has certain magical conch shells that will summon certain creatures to do very menial things like attack, but
Okay.
not much more than that. But yeah, you did touch on something fairly important. You touched on Thomas Alva Edwards, that ridiculously rich person that was neglected also in the story description. That's where you guys found it was in one of his buildings, production plants, that you guys found that thing, that magnetic thing of Kree origin. He claimed he had no idea that the thing existed there.
Oh, I guess. All right. So, because I'm trying not to tie us up with building something. What about if we try to meet with Professor Xavier and ask him to Cerebro?
Does
Search-
anybody have contacts with Professor Xavier?
Well, we have previously sent word through my Oracle Corporation to the school
Mhm.
because we were trying to find out if Magneto was okay, to let him know that we don't believe he's responsible, and then we found out later that Magneto has gone underground, he can take care of himself and all that stuff. So similarly, I guess I would like to send a message to the school and see if we can set up an appointment to meet with Charles Xavier regarding a Cerebro search.
For Magneto?
No, for the try to find, because like people can't suppress their thoughts, right? So if we can get any information on people that are on the submarine and thinking about the attack
I understand.
they did recently.
Professor, maybe you're able to talk to Beast or something, and he explains that Cerebro doesn't quite work like that. It would be like if you took everybody in the world and put them in a room and went and started asking people one after another, are you John? Are you John? Are you John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt? Are you?
Okay.
It would still take forever, and that would just be, yeah. Unfortunately, they have mutant matters to deal with, and they do send their condolences, however, to a mutant who didn't have any previous lineage, such as Namor and the other mutants there.
But we do have at least a way to narrow the search down, if Shield can tell us where the submarines that they can see with whatever either satellite, sonar, whatever equipment they have.
Do you have a way of contacting Shield?
What's his name, guys? The agent that we've been working with?
The Linden.
Carl.
Yes.
Agent Carl in our good 10 security clearance.
Cool. All right.
So at least we kind of narrow the focus of like look for these things and see if anyone in these or those submarines are having thoughts about.
So,
Well, they would probably be able to identify which ones were Shield subs, and then they would certainly be able to identify which ones were American subs, U.S.
Absolutely.
subs.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same thing. American subs,
Yes.
you know, Russian subs, you know, and just see if there's any maybe that blip with either a duplicate identification or ones that come up unknown, and then those would be the ones that we'd have to go and check out, because it could be cloaking itself in some manner to have a duplicate identification as another, you know, maybe changing the sound of its baffles so it's even fooling sonar so that it sounds like another sub, whatever.
Yep. I like
So
it.
that could be things to ask them. Hey, is anything coming up like that? Well, you see two of the same type of sub in the same area that was near Atlantis, or maybe its trajectory was moving away from that area. Like, whoa, we didn't. Was that too much? Just to look at Bill's face.
I'm literally thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, Pinky, you need to freaking calm down. What do you call it? Okay, so you guys can contact Agent DeLinden. He is available to talk, and he explains that there were no subs, none of his subs were missing, and he doesn't have any information of what's going on down there. He is thinking that either Atlantis maybe did it to themselves because they have been looking for any excuse to do that, or maybe it's something so high up in Shield clearance that he wouldn't be privy to this. He does remind you of the previous conversations he's had with you prior to this. Who has remarkable 30, no, excellent 20 intuition or higher?
Excellent 20.
Me.
Excellent 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm excellent.
Sorry, excellent or higher. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Three of you, you guys can all make a roll.
Oh shit, 100. Okay, I'm in the red.
All right.
Yeah, he's lucky because I'm still rolling like I did last week.
And beware of the cat.
He was like, that would be a 4. No, okay.
Okay, so Duster, you're like when somebody says something, you're just like, wait a second, maybe I'm like slow. I feel like this isn't adding up. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever, he's been good to us so far. Chris, however, with a crit nat, I'm going to say that you know immediately that he's lying his ass off to you.
I knew it.
His name's Carl.
I knew it.
Takes his face out. He's like,
So, the thing that you notice specifically is that you're also thinking to yourself, one of those subs, because you guys mentioned it last time in the picture, that's something I was planning on using. One of those subs was missing. So him saying that all the subs were present and accounted for and all that good stuff, and no, I don't know what you're talking about. One of those subs was flat out missing.
do we remember which one it is, or
What do you mean, which one it is?
like if we requested a roster of those subs?
Well, no, it was the one that was supposed to be down here and over here. And that hole down there, that's where it was in the Leviathan. The Dreadnought. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's not like he. Okay, I
Yeah, you guys remember
now.
the picture of the Dreadnought? Sorry.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, I know at his remark of Atlantis maybe doing this to themselves, that I'm going to at least scrunch up my face the way I assume a mutant would when you hear, "Have you tried not being mutant?" And I'm going to, maybe subtly tense up, like let my body language that does not sit well with me.
Okay. That's perfectly acceptable. You are doing this on purpose, though, because as a robot character, you don't actually have any emotion, or you don't need to actually show any emotions, but you would be doing this on your own. Cool.
Right. This is Jacob the person,
Mm,
So in the fashion of being Jacob the person.
cool. In fact, here, hold on. Let me do this, actually. Okay. He doesn't notice any reaction on you, Chris. You're pretty much stone-faced. Let me just... Yeah, I think in general he should... Yeah, he knows anyways. He knows that you look really confused, Victor, but you're doing purposefully, Clark, at Lantroids. So he's just like, anyway, yeah, that's really all the information I got for you guys. Is there anything else?
Would I be able to, based on the picture that we saw, that was on our approach, right, to
Yes.
the Leviathan? Would I be able to, kind of like visually, imagine if we were on the other side where the actual dock area would be for those subs, to guesstimate how many up until the space that would have been missing? You know what I mean? Like if I say, like, look, if I remember from the outside, there was 4
Do you remember
subs. Well, I don't have photographic memory. That's what I'm saying.
Your character?
Well, can I roll for it to see if he remembers?
Go off of your reason.
I guess no karma for this, because it's just straight up.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay.
You got to get in the red, though.
Okay, you said I can add karma, or I can't?
You may.
Okay, I got a 60 under excellent.
Okay.
And you said I got to get in red?
Yep.
All right, so
35.
Cool.
Once you detract that karma, you'll be able to see in your mind's eye exactly where it was. I don't remember where it was because it was one of the bottom ones.
Right, but you got what I'm saying. Like if I remember, like, oh, there were 4 subs, and then that's blah blah blah. Like from the
sub in Bay 12 was missing.
Oh, you re-looked at the picture, or
no?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that works for me. A sub in Bay 12.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I guess we were calling him from our safe house, so we could disconnect the
only one you could.
Yeah. Unless you guys have anything else to ask them, I'll kind of like thank you, Agent Agent Carl, for your assistance. Can I talk to you guys for a second?
Paul sneers every time that Marcus sneers every time that Carl's name is said.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry, my cat's just nicked one of the dice.
I knew it. I told you. Okay, so you guys can sidebar.
And I basically just tell them, look, he's full of crap. Don't ask me how I know, but he's...
Because his name's Carl.
Because he's Carl. You can't trust Carl. You guys remember when we first approached the Leviathan, there was a sub that was actually missing. He just told us none of them were unaccounted for. What about the one that had not been there when we arrived? So my suggestion is
He said
maybe
that there were none unaccounted for. Just because the sub's not in its dock doesn't mean it's on some clandestine unknown mission to him.
true.
This was a very specific time when everybody had just gotten finished with the missions. What do you call it? The reloading missions. You know, they take 2 months out and then 10 months back out at sea. So this was the moment when everybody was coming back, or at least it was supposed to be. So there weren't supposed to be any missions for this dreadnought right now.
All right. So
I don't know if we'll be able to get back onto that dreadnought, and then maybe if that sub is back, investigate it. Like if it did finally come back but delayed because it had a separate clandestine mission, which is why we didn't see it when we first arrived, but it might be there now because it's only been a couple of, like literally a couple of days, maybe in game time. I don't know if that's something worth checking out. Because then,
So you're saying go back to the dreadnought?
well, you know, how many days has it been in game time? Like
Several. But
okay.
this is a mobile base. It's not a stationary base. It would be like trying to follow a helicarrier. Mind you, this is essentially supposed to be a helicarrier under the sea.
Okay. And I guess there's no way of finding out what designation that sub has to maybe go look for it on our own.
Some things might be completely out of your purview. But at the end of the day, finding out the one thing is cool. Maybe the idea of grabbing a whole bunch of different information. Remember, some of you guys took detective espionage. All of you guys have talents that I said, if you think about them, I will help you to use those talents to figure out what's happening. Literally, like everybody here has keys.
I want to find Crossbones.
I don't know if I can stretch that far.
I don't blame you.
And you said,
Sorry.
No, go ahead. You said he used a magic cloak.
Yeah.
No.
Turned invisible.
No, it wasn't magic. It was tech.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, all right, well, I'm going back to the bookstore and looking up.
I mean, well, then again, I really shouldn't have said that. But for the most part, yeah, it seemed like it was tech. But yeah.
So can we
Going
use
along with
our
that,
shield?
Sorry,
So
what?
Go ahead,
Can we
Paul.
use our shield clearance and try and look up last known locations and contacts of his, so we can go crack some skulls and get some info?
Literally.
Yeah.
Those are words I understand.
There we go.
You're with me, Knuckle Duster. Let's go get this guy.
He's like clandestine. What did you get? There's all this fancy gobbledygook.
Chris, if you want, actually, I think that you actually did have a really good idea if you wanted to go and do the research for the cloak. Because, yeah, I don't mind actually switching some things up. I shouldn't have been so quick to say that it was tech. So, yeah, if you want to, you have your occult lore skill.
Yeah.
Add that to your reason and give me a roll.
Just in case I find something that sparks the memory.
Absolutely.
All right, 79 under remarkable. Okay, that's in yellow.
Okay. You do know that there are such cloaks as this that exist, not just in mythology, but everything in mythology is rooted in something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Deathly Hollow. What do you call it? You know that these things do exist. You didn't actually see this cloak. You're only going by the description that Dark Spirit really gave. There's not much else you can go on. But yes, these sort of cloaks do exist.
Now, in my research, would it tell me is there any way to counteract it if someone is using it, or?
Yeah, it only works on the outside, essentially. It's not one way. Otherwise, the person wouldn't be able to see on the outside. It's
Flower.
transparent from the inside. What, Duster?
It's a flower.
Oh, throw flour on it. Yeah. Throw flour in the room. Yeah.
Kind of a compliment to Dark Spirit's idea. Use my detective espionage and my contacts with the police department. He wasn't using his cloak while he was actually riding his motorcycle. Video footage, police
Traffic
cams,
cam. Yeah,
traffic cams.
Roll a popularity roll with your contact, the police department contact. Triples.
That is in the yellow.
Nice. Okay. You know that he was driving north on the highways. If this were England, London specifically, you'd have a better chance of knowing exactly where this dude went with the CCTV. But no, in general, you know that he got on a highway going north. And I'll say that he didn't stop at any gas stations on the way. So do with that what you will.
Where are they getting with the interrogation of the Hydra prisoner?
Who took him? Did I say somebody took him?
You didn't say.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
The last thing that had happened, I think, was a landroid had handed him off to the Atlantis guards.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'll say they took him. Okay, in that case, I'll say the Atlantis guards actually took him. Yeah.
That poor guy.
Poor friggin' guy. He's going to sleep with the fishes, literally. Of course, Luca Brasi did too. Anyway, Godfather movie, if anybody's curious. So he, no information yet. Maybe by the next campaign, depending on how long this particular mission goes. So, what do you call actual, not playtime, game time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
was he the only one that survived like the fighting, like the chopper pilots? Were they taken by the Atlanteans too, or the NYPD took them?
Good question. I'll say the NYPD took those guys. That works. And then Solasta, you would know that they were immediately snatched up by the FBI.
And the ones, those were the ones on the outside. What about the ones that were on the inside in UN property?
Oh yeah, like the guy with the video camera.
The video camera, the video camera guy was the one that got handed to the Atlanteans. The one in the suit that was whooping my butt that I finally
blinded
and had him open his suit and punched him out. He was actually inside the UN.
Okay.
NYPD wouldn't have jurisdiction over that one.
That's true. Okay. So he'll be taken in. Question. You don't know what happened to him. You guys did just recently leave the UN, but, maybe he's still there.
Do we have any idea, like, where those robots originated from? Do we figure those are just Hydra tech, or did they seem to come from anywhere that
seems like a Hydra tech kind of thing? All these guys had their Hydra stuff on it.
Just making sure.
No worries. It's a good question.
they had their Hydra secret decoder rings and stuff.
It says drink your Ovaltine.
So I'm going back to Crossbones. Sorry, so his bike hasn't been found anywhere, so it hasn't been abandoned.
They didn't. Let's see. Yeah, I guess they would know the license plates and whatnot. Scott, go ahead. Detective espionage.
That would be in the green.
Green's good enough. You know that he never actually left the city. He got on the highway simply to make a turnaround. Knows where the cameras are, apparently, like it's him. So he was able to duck them. What do you call it? Yeah. You're not able to find where the bike is, but you know that he was able to come back because he did come back in off the highway. That was the last time you see him. So he's still in New York City someplace.
Right.
And
Thank you.
yes, with his bike apparently.
So he could have went underground, like through the subway system, because a bike would be small enough. He could be in a building.
Okay, so
He could even be in our HQ if we can't find.
Just keep throwing flour around.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
so my idea then is all of you think about where we could possibly meet someone that either is in the immediate inner circle or at least could find the circle that Crossbone or travels in, and I will assist with impersonating whoever we need to in order to try and get some information on Crossbone, either the who hired him or where he might be, or how we could get in touch with them to hire him, and maybe that will produce results.
It's a shame none of us took crime as a contact, like a crime contact.
That was the original concept for this character.
Yeah. I'm not saying that would have worked, but the other possible option is maybe to call Crossbones out as a pussy on live television, which will make him so pissed off he'll want to come kill you. And then we just set a trap for him.
I'll do a wrestling call out.
Right, or you do a fucking shoot promo
Just
or
do a
something.
promo. Hey, language.
Sorry.
But yeah. That's
Because then he'd be so mad that he would just have to make an example out of you. I don't know.
wow.
Well,
just do a wrestling promo.
Maybe
Ooh,
someone-
yeah, Crossbones, you had your cup of coffee in the big time.
I got you for 2 more minutes of playtime.
Fly the plane. Crossbones. Bring the plane down. Anyway, go on.
Or you dress up like Crossbones.
So what's
and then
everybody
do the
going to do
promo.
right now?
Has
I have
anybody
no
come
idea.
into your shop? Has anyone come into your shop, Nephilim or Philasta? Have you ever?
But we
picked up
don't.
somebody
The archive. We do. I'm not going to say I have. I'm not going to go on a limb and say I have magical items in my shop.
You do not have magical items in
Right.
your shop.
Because I didn't take mystical backgrounds. I'm just the occult lore. So I'm fascinated and tell you about those things. My uncle, who disappeared, he might, but he's not around because it's his shop. So if there is stuff here, would have no idea where it would be at. So it's not like somebody would come in and buy it from me. They might buy a book on magical items, but the book itself wouldn't be
So,
magical.
Celesta, Scott, what are you doing?
Any chance to check the hostess trucks?
The hostess trucks were taken into police custody, so 100% yes.
Okay. I'd like to search them, see if there's anything I can find of, hey, here's a receipt from Joe's restaurant.
Well, you do see several
anything
Joe's
that-
Restaurants receipts there. In your search, make a roll for me, because all the cops are looking, but you're a detective. This is right up your alley.
Oh, yes. Thank you. 99.
99. That's a pretty damn color right there.
That's
Red.
in the red.
It's a beautiful color, man. All right. You find a tracking device. And you know that you can reverse engineer this, no problem. You can reverse the signal on this.
Okay.
You just need to make a reasonable roll.
Yep.
Give me all of your talents, put them up. Tell me what you're rolling
That
under
would
for the
be-
sake of bragging rights, and then give me a color.
That would be amazing reason, engineering, and electronics.
Tinkering works, okay,
So
and then
that would be plus
electronics,
3.
which would be
Would be amazing. That would be up to Shift X.
boom. Do it. Light up that Christmas tree.
$71. That is yellow.
Yellow's pretty. Okay. There is a place in Hunts Point. It's a old electronics building, kind of like a Radio Shack sort of place. And that's where the signal's coming from.
Is that our place?
No.
No.
That's
Wait a minute.
that's where the Millennial Bricks and Samson and Backblast all hang out, right?
No.
Something from season 2.
Yeah.
That would be
The Hunts
Lampley
Point Heroes.
Lights.
Yep. Yes. Lampley
Yep.
Lights. Correct. Nice one.
I tried to kill him so bad.
your bird form did.
I mean, when we were controlling the bad guys too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. That was you. He wants to talk to you. All right. So you know that it's coming from Lampley Lights. It's a technically it's the father of one of the richest businessmen in New York City, possibly, longer. He's
And you said, Bill, we have access to pretty much 2020 tech.
Yep.
So we can Google Earth over the top of where the transmission is to get a better view of what's around there. And stuff.
Yeah, a lot of really tall buildings. It's a neighborhood place, but there are a lot of tall buildings around. There's a really cool activity center, recreation center there, and really cool club, punk rock club. And right there's this one small, it's basically like a Radio Shack, and it just seems very completely out of place. But it is known that this is owned by many times people try to put it out of business for the sake of austerity, and it's like, no, because Lampley Lights owns this and allows it to be run by his father.
And it might as well be like on the historic registry because it's like a really old building, that kind of deal.
Well, it's not that old. I mean, it was always this Radio Shack for the most part, but yeah.
Okay. How old of a building? Like
1974.
Good year.
Would I be
No.
able to research what was on that property before the building was constructed?
All of that was really big with a Native American tribe.
Do you want me to go around and check it out?
Actually, can we pull building records, floor plans,
Oh,
all of that nature
yeah.
for the building?
Absolutely. Yeah, you go and you check all of this good stuff out, and as it turns out, it's really just a one floor deal. There's what do you call it? I don't know. It's really just a one floor building. There's a couple of back rooms and whatnot. And excuse me, it's actually zoned for public retail. Oh, excuse me.
If you want to check it out, Paul, I'll go with you.
Excellent. So
Just
we
look.
can just go in there normally. We don't, and then have a look
Well,
around.
yeah, you said it's basically an electronics store, so I could go in just looking for crap. Actually, you know what? We need a brainiac, somebody that knows tech stuff, so that you can at least
Yeah, I
say,
figured-
"Yeah, I'm looking for a
figured I would
flux
go.
capacitor." Blah 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 blah.
Capacitor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you three?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. What about Duster, Clark? What are you guys doing?
I was actually curious. Using the record, like the clearance level in the base that we have, could I look up more like combat information on Knuckle Duster, like how he fights, equipment he typically uses, stuff like that?
Sorry, I was distracted by a kid who should be in bed and asleep, staring at me like he's from the freaking Children of the Corn. Go on. What were you saying?
I was wondering if there was any kind of in the clearance that we have for the shield base, would there be information I could look up on Crossbones about how he fights, equipment he might use during combat, stuff like that, so I can get an
Yes.
idea of what to expect should I go toe to toe with him?
Yeah, he is a dangerous person. He's actually gone to here, according to Shield records. Wolverine is considered. This is relevant. Is considered a class 7 or 8. I think he's considered class 8. He's considered more dangerous than the Thing. And yet Crossbones has gone toe-to-toe with him. Wolverine got the better of him, but Crossbones actually went toe-to-toe with him. There's one report of a time during a Fear Itself incident where they both wound up, slashing each other up and both of them passing out on the ground. Crossbones woke up first, laughing at Wolverine, grunting and laughing at him, saying, you healers, you get too used to healing and whatnot. I can't tell you how many times I've had to crazy glue my innards back inside, you know what I'm saying, and move on. You guys don't know how to actually handle pain. And he almost got away, except Wolverine heals a lot faster than the average healer. But Crossbones is genuinely that tough. He took out Wolverine and didn't know, probably would never make that mistake again, to not take him out again after he'd been taken out. Yeah.
So, is there an idea of typical equipment he usually has on him, like the level of armor he carries on his body, guns, grenades?
Depends on the mission. He's very smart. He's deviously, wickedly, evilly smart. Known to work with the Red Skull, work for the Red Skull, in a relationship with the Red Skull's daughter. Has some Nazi-like beliefs, but for the most part, he is like a very loyal soldier, even to the point of being dumb sometimes, because he does genuinely believe in the cause. But for the most part, as far as what he carries on him, mission specific.
Okay. Right.
Do we so the Red Skull's daughter is around at the moment, as in this universe.
Yeah.
This time, do we know current location of her according to Shield's records?
No, they'd go and snatch her up if they did.
We know nothing. So we can't get an android to pretend to be her, and we've captured her.
You do have records of what she looks like. That's not a bad idea.
That's fine. Gives me something to do. I'm game.
You two can set a trap up. For...
Oh, shoot. Not too shabby.
But now I don't know what to do. I want to go to both.
Well, what it,
I want to sniper him when he comes to try and save her. If he does.
Okay, you can leave
if he falls for it.
your body with them and take your spirit with us.
well, I guess that's a question. If we're gonna draw this dude into a location, we have to figure out the best way to actually trap. Well, how are we gonna get the information out first that we have her, and to make it believable, and then how do we secure the area so that he can't get out?
Yeah. So it's like how do we stop him from just like phoning her up and saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And then,
Right. He sends her a text and like, what are you talking about? or she just sends back like the poop emoji and like, what?
So what are you guys going to do?
Because I'm in favor of both. The electronic shop is probably a front more than likely.
Yeah.
Since that's where the tracking thing goes back to. Or
I was gonna say the electronics store is probably the best immediate lead we have, so it's probably the thing we should hop on first.
Yeah.
Are you gonna bring in Doug to be Nightlight, or are you gonna do the voice, Professor?
Is he going to be there? Okay, so you guys split up. Atlantroid and Duster, where exactly are you going? What are you guys doing?
We haven't actually figured that out yet.
Well, you two figure that out. You three, you guys go to this location. They're hanging out, chilling. Hey, store says open.
well, what would be the best thing, Scott, for us to ask for from a Radio Shack place? Something like, RC, like assuming maybe they got RC parts for like remote controlled car.
You can ask to buy a
So-
crystal diode.
Electronics parts.
And then meanwhile, Paul, you can maybe be out doing your ghost walk thing,
Yep.
seeing if there is anything in like if there's a back workshop area or something.
Hidden rooms or anything. Yep. Sort of below.
We just had to figure out like what is your range for your astral walk,
It's quite far. It's
because we don't want to put you
areas?
just how many areas? Bill?
8, I think. That's 4
8.
football field lengths,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
400 yards. Yeah.
And you said it's mostly just high rises and clubs around him, like bars and things too.
Yeah.
What about is it if there was what time is it? Like daytime?
Daytime. Yeah. The store says open.
All right. So hear me out here. You could technically go into the bar and ask to get yourself a drink, go to the bathroom, and then do your astral walk from the bathroom. But you're in the stall, so no one's gonna worry about like how long you've been in the stall. And then you can do your reconnaissance while we're inside the store, keeping maybe the clerk occupied or whatever while we're looking for stuff. It's just a suggestion. Because otherwise, if you were in an alleyway, then you'd be like, "Who's this bum? Wake up!" Might get suspicious or something.
You could
or I
weekend
could just
with
go
Bernie
in
him.
the van and just park.
Oh, that's right. Duh. Forgot we had the
Could just-
18 van.
Could just sit in a van, just put a sign up on the windshield that says "Do not narcon." Taking a nap while my friends go shopping.
Yeah.
My bad. Well, maybe I
There
can-
are signs saying just gone to the toilet in the bar.
Just
So,
park the freaking car.
Yeah.
Put a freaking coin in the damn machine. What the hell? You guys are hanging up signs and sitting in toilets. Oh my God. What's up, Duster? Please give me something good.
Well, I mean, this was just for the rest of for knowledge for the rest of the group. About how far from the base is the
Our
shop?
base is in Hunts Point.
Yeah, I just Not sure.
Hunts Point's
Because I
not
can
that
I can cross about half of Hunts Point with one teleport.
There you go.
So just wanted to know if it's close enough to be in range so I could Google Maps it to know where I can appear if you guys need my help.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave you the coordinates and whatnot. You look at it, you're like, oh, I'm familiar with that neighborhood. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Just make
So
sure if you guys need me, you can just ring me up and I'll be over there.
Leo Lamprey's place. All right, cool.
Yeah, I forgot about the battle van. My bad.
So, oh my God. So,
Alright, so-
yeah, what's up? What are you guys doing? So yeah, anyway, let's just get this freaking party started. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you asked for project inside the freaking building. You
Yep.
see an old guy sitting there happily dusting stuff. Not a lot of customers walking in. You probably see these two knuckleheads walking in, shuffling around, looking around, and everything like that. What do you call it? And yeah, you look around, and on this level, which is the only level that you see, whatever. There's no upstairs. It doesn't seem to be any stairs for basement or anything like that. You just see parts and boxes and stuff like that.
So if I go sort of through the walls and everything just to make sure there's nothing hidden, can I look under the floors and see if there's a hidden basement or?
Well, yeah, I would say that when you go far enough down the basement, where there shouldn't be a basement according to the floor plans that Scott brought up, you see something that looks like a fortress. This place is huge, and you feel like the more that you go, the bigger it gets. It's actually several floors. You count like maybe 6, 7, 8 floors. It's big. It's expansive.
Is there anybody in there?
Oh, you see lots of guys in yellow beekeeper suits.
Okie dokie. Can I do a proper recon of that and try and check how many people are there and try and get a layout and see if there's any ways of getting in that we know of?
Yeah, ways in. There's a teleportation device that they actually use. You can't actually use the teleporter since you're non-material.
So they need a teleport. If only we had a teleporter. So I want to try and find a place in there that I can describe to Knuckle Duster, and so he'd be able to teleport in there if need be.
Let's see.
You'd have to give him distance and everything. So that's going to be a heck of a reason roll. And I will actually roll it for you so that you guys don't know what the result is. And Victor, Knuckle Duster, can decide how much he trusts you.
I was gonna say, can't Nephilim teleport too?
No, I can't. I could do a shadow walk technically, but that would be
okay.
fun.
I thought you had the power.
No. I'm flight. Usually, when I'm on fire, I'm flying.
Gotcha.
Or unless I learn the stunt later to do teleport, but I don't have it right now. It would be the first time trying it.
Gotcha.
Okay, the other thing I do is, do I see anyone using the teleporter?
Once if you hang out there long enough, yes, you do see people. That's how you knew what it was. You do see a couple people using a teleporter to leave to come back. They're bringing some stuff.
And do I see if they've got anything on them? Because when they're outside to teleport back in, they must have a device to be able to contact with it. Do I see them holding like a?
No, it's an actual like a doorway that they have inside the facility.
So how do they come back in? So they must go between two of them.
Big guess.
Okay, and I can't go through it. Okay. So I'll have to go back and tell them then. So there's nothing else in there of interest except for there's people there. Do we know what they're bringing back? Are they bringing back? And is there any tech there that's from the Kree? Similar to what we saw before.
This is some serious tech. So you don't know if it's Kree or them. Do you even know who the group is?
But AIM.
Nice.
AIM? Yep.
Yes.
But do I know that as Dark Spirit?
Oh, if you know, then yes. Because
Okay.
you're big into infiltration and all that stuff. So I figure if you know, your character definitely knows.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So yeah, and they've got, as far as I can tell, they've got loads of weapons there and everything. So if we do infiltrate it, they're heavily defended.
Oh yeah. Just real quick, in the chat over here, I'm seeing what do you call our private chat and whatnot. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm like shooting down ideas and whatnot. It seems like that's what I'm actually doing. I'm really stressed right now because the family should be asleep and the kids keep on waking up. It is 10:24 p.m. here, and the kids should be asleep, and just they won't sleep. And yeah, I think my wife fell asleep. She just now woke up to tell the kids, you guys need to get in bed. So yeah, I keep on hearing this over here, and I'm like trying to go back and forth, and I'm just getting really stressed out in my mind. So I apologize if I was coming down too hard before, but yeah, that's what I'm going through here. So yeah, I tried to mention when such and such is a good idea and just follow up on it, but yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna travel back into my body. So how far below the shop is it?
How far? Oh, you're pretty sure it's about 8, what do you call it? Levels to this. And it's pretty expansive.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to go back and get in my body, then just wander into the shop and just have a little nosy around, just to let them know, that the other two know that I'm back in my body now.
Gotcha.
Sort of look at something, go, and then go out.
All right, nice. Okay, next up.
All right, so me and Scott are inside the shop, just kind of, hey, good morning or afternoon. He's like, how you doing? We're looking for crystal diodes.
Actually, what I'm looking for is something wanting to make polarized lenses.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, wow. All you really need is some gold, basically. Just, unless you want to make the electronic ones, in which case...
want to make electronic ones that will come on as needed. As you need, in case you're doing stuff with really bright light, welding or something like that. Going around town with all the construction work out there.
Okay.
You never know when you might just look at something to be too bright for you to see.
So you're trying to build something that's kind of Iron Man tech-like, huh?
Nothing that.
Oh, well, then just use gold.
Just something that's not covered all the time, but something that will come on as you need it.
Yeah, sounds kind of Iron Man-like.
Okay, so it's Iron Man-like. I'm just not going to build the entire Iron Man suit.
He says, that's fine. Believe it or not, I actually get people coming in here all the time. My son is actually a public superhero. Yeah, he's this guy called Nightbright. Yeah, revealed himself to the mayor. Stood up to him and everything. Pretty cool guy. Very proud of him. So, yeah. Here, it starts bringing around some parts and whatnot for tech that doesn't exist in the real world.
Polarized lenses do exist.
Polarized lenses exist, but not the ones like
electronic lenses do exist too.
Go on.
Welding helmets.
But
they will darken
auto-darkening
electronic auto-darkening welding helmets.
electronic dark? Because like my glasses will get dark in the sun because that's the way the lenses are. So you're saying the welding helmets are the same way?
Well, no, not the same way. It goes, you know, how the transition lenses will go darken up. The
Uh-huh.
welding helmets, you strike the arc, and it
Automatically,
goes
huh?
dark.
I use those every day.
Get the heck out. Well, okay, never mind then. Boom. Hey, Scott and Knuckle Duster take 15 karma points for stumping the hell out of the judge. What do you got there? All right, bang. Okay, so yeah, he starts showing you the tech to make such and such and such. He's got some blueprints. Like I say, a bunch of kids love doing stuff like that. So, bang, done. Shoot. Okay, what else? Anyway, you saw Marcus come in and Dark Spirit come in and you know, just look at something really quick, look over you guys, wink, and leave. So you can pay for your stuff and follow him out.
Do you wanna keep talking to this dude, and then I'll find out what Dark Spirit found out?
I figure while I'm looking at the stuff and figuring out what we're doing, looking at the blueprints and everything, go ahead and do your thing.
Okay.
All right.
So
Go ahead.
Paul explains everything to you, and
Basically, you said you saw one side of a portal, but you weren't sure where
it goes.
so it could have went deeper inside the fortress, deeper within the facility, not necessarily outside.
There was no other exits that I could see, so that looks like the only way in or out is through a teleporter. And it's a huge facility.
So we're not even sure the range of the portal.
No, but looking at it, we had the Brotherhood, we've got Hydra, Crossbones, and AIM, and the Kree, all involved in this, and the Atlanteans. Anyone else? Anyone else? Everyone apart from the X-Men and the Avengers. But so yeah. I can give a rough estimate of how far it is down there. So if Knuckle Duster wants to try and teleport, but it's only a rough estimate.
Okay, this is I was gonna say this is kind of metagaming, but we have any way of communicating back with the base from inside the battle van, like at Earwig?
To the base, yeah. You guys have you could have cell phones. Just call each other. Yo.
All right, let him.
We've got cell phones and we've got our communicators.
Okay.
Okay. So while you guys are doing that, Clark, you are muted. I guess you're going back to the blah 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 to Oracle.
Right. That's the only thing I can think of. I have daily demands, you know, people expect me to be in either board meetings or get my signature or some other type of demand of me at the business.
This is true. So when you go back, what do you call it? You go back to the bit, and Duster said that you're staying in the Hunts Point area, right?
Yeah, I was staying in the.
So Clark, when you go back to Oracle, bunch of things, a lot of papers on your desk and whatnot. You know, they're of course mostly concerned with Atlantis in and of itself, besides the regular jobs that they have. And a lot of the people who work there are actually Atlanteans, even though they're on a different side. But yeah, because you're not actually an embassy, but practically an embassy. You're a trade embassy. And one of the Atlanteans who actually works fairly close with you, not one of your immediate secretaries, but yeah, called in sick, apparently, and there's a replacement there. And she is a attractive person, really cool person, blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, you're expected to make an intuition feat roll.
Oh no. Mm. Just wait.
Okay, cool. Perfectly normal person.
Mm.
Okay. You will go on about your business, about your day, and I'll be right back to you.
Okay.
You three again.
Well,
What up? Any plans?
we're going to let Knuckle Duster know. Give him a call.
Done.
Can I put it into the chat? Can somebody be a forward observer for his teleport?
No, not unless they're actually going to go down there and show around with a cell phone and, like through FaceTime or something, and he's looking at it.
Yeah.
Unless
That would
he
work.
had,
Because like I can guess, but that's real risky.
unless I had like a psychic ability where I could project what I see
Mhm.
into his head, then he would be able to visualize. Okay, I got you.
This is why Google Maps works, but I
Right.
can't. Assuming things haven't changed since the last time they updated it.
Right, it's a 2-year-old picture. No. All right, so what are we going to do here? Are we going to try to attack the AIM facility?
There's
While I'm talking-
loads of people in there, so if we do, we're probably going to be outnumbered anyway.
And they're going to have good stuff.
Yeah. So it's probably not a great idea.
Mhm.
No, it's a good idea, but not if we had an army, then it would be better.
While I'm talking to Mr. Lampley, where
Can I
is your
use
son
his
right
restroom?
now?
I'm sorry.
What? Something happened. What?
Can I use his restroom? Is that possible?
Yeah, sure, of course.
All right. Is it back here? It's back through here.
Right back there.
Where is your son now? I had heard that he had came out as a superhero. What's he doing now?
Superheroing, running his very, very successful business. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a very busy guy. Don't get to see him very often, but once in a while. I understand.
Does he have cameras in the back leading towards the bathroom where the bathroom is?
Nope.
Just
Camera
straight
free.
up regular. All right, I'll snoop around a little bit if I can. See if I see, obviously a portal's not going to just suddenly appear. But, maybe I see like...
Make an intuition roll.
Okay. What's this? It's 72. Okay, it's green.
Okay.
Under X, but
You did a pretty thorough search, but for the most part, like you go up to the mirrors and you check and you put your finger on it to look to see if they're two-way mirrors, and you start looking at all the lights and see if there's a tracker there or something like that, a audio listening device. You look in the vents and you start like, there's no books, otherwise you'd start like moving books.
no dust on the floor or like things that maybe haven't been swept up or...
No rugs with a trap door underneath. You don't see anything.
All right. And nothing that sounds a little hollow. He's like, nope. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Yay. Damn it. All right, I'll go through the motions and flush so it sounds like I was actually doing my business and not snooping around.
Cool.
Come out again.
I guess I'm warping in. I'll probably appear behind the building, so that I'm not just appearing in the middle of the street.
Okay.
And then I'll circle around out front and meet up with everybody.
Okay.
I'll give him sort of a basic layout of what I saw, what levels,
Okay.
just so everyone has an idea of what we're facing. And if you do go in, it might be worth, once you teleport in, to go through the teleporter to see where it comes out.
All right.
The other end.
Probably not
But
a terrible idea. It might be
So
a
then
terrible idea, but I've got nothing
Yeah.
better. So, because I'm pretty strong, but I don't think I'm going to take everybody that's down there. So, just as long as everyone else is ready.
can you teleport someone with you?
I could, but I might put you inside of the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if I can get in there and nobody notices me, I might be able to come back out and then bring somebody in.
There's also the possibility of what happened on the raft when you couldn't teleport at all.
Yeah, but it would be confusing that they'd have a teleporter that could go out, but it would prevent me from going out.
But it's high tech versus a mutant ability.
I mean, maybe they have mutant suppression in there, but if that's the case, I probably can't appear in there anyway. I wouldn't be able to reform in that place if it was suppressing mutant abilities. Well, assuming everyone's ready.
So you're gonna do a blind teleport basically, or try it.
With as much information as I was given by Dark Spirit, I'll attempt to go in.
I'm going to astral project in there just to check to see what happens to him.
So where are you going to be when you teleport in there? Where are you going to be before you actually teleport in? Where are you teleporting from?
Guessing I'm at well, if I was talking to Paul, I'm probably outside because I don't think he came back in.
We can go back to the van.
Yeah, that works. You can go
teleport from. We've got a safe place to teleport in and out of without being seen. I can do my trance, meet you in there, but you can't see me, obviously, and I can just check that if you survived or not.
Do you want to maybe see if we could cause a disturbance in the shop to see if anybody teleports into the shop to see where they teleported from? Because I could just create Dark Force generation to make a mask for myself and pretend like I'm robbing the store.
I don't know what is going on right now. I have no idea what the hell. You're taking it all off the rails again, man. Okay, go ahead and make your... Listen, you can't use karma when you do this teleportation, though. Okay, so you're going to be going off of your intuition.
Okay. Yeesh. It's not looking good for our hero.
Paul just killed a character.
That is in the white.
Okay, you are going to take 30 points of damage. 40 straight points of damage. Body armor does not count for this.
Okay.
And you teleport right back to where you were. And you are...
Ow.
Make a psyche roll. If you get in the yellow, you're not screaming.
Psyche is good. No, I'm screaming.
You're screaming?
Yeah, I'm screaming.
Okay.
Reduce the sound. Whoever's got sound manipulation.
That would be Paul.
So you don't hear all
I'm waiting for him to appear. Where is he?
Yeah, you are. You're actually still down there. Where is this guy? So this whole thing just went full cluster. Wow. Okay, no big deal. No big deal. You do see that he goes. He appears inside of the side of a wall, all up along the left side of his arm, his left arm, and just boom, and just like this. It was bad, and he just boom disappears and teleports it the same way he came in, the same way he seems to go out. So you'll presume that he went back up, and you fly back up.
Yeah,
there.
That could have gone better.
Yeah, that hurt.
I'm gonna get Celesta to try and patch you up.
Thanks.
All right, I have a group huddle in the battle wagon.
Go back to the van.
Yeah.
Lay on hands.
here's a question,
There you go.
and a question for
You go
the
back to full heals, Paul.
and a question for you, Bill.
Oh, not Paul. Sorry, Duster. Yeah, what's up?
So there was a assassination attempt, and I don't know why I just thought of this now, because I'm stupid. This is delayed reaction. So there was an assassination attempt on Atlantis, on the sovereign of Atlantis. Atlantis itself was attacked by nuclear weapons. Does anybody in New York know where Atlantroid's building is, and if it is also affiliated with Atlantis? Because that might be the third target, since it is a trade building. So I suggest we forget the AIM lead and go to where Clark's building is.
Not such a bad idea. In the meantime, so Clark, back over to you, bud. Your building blows up. No, I'm joking.
It's kind of a crossbow.
So okay, mute yourself, damn it. So what do you call it? You're getting your paperwork done. You've got massive amounts of work done, and that particular new person comes up to you and trying to fix paperwork. Sir, would you like any coffee?
Oh, excuse me. I don't think we've met. My name's Jacob. Just extend my hand. Who might you be?
Oh, my name's Kira.
Welcome, Kira. Are you part of a temp agency, or did
She's
Are you-
Atlantean.
I know, but you said so and so called in, and this person's here all of a sudden.
Yes.
So I was wondering if. Okay.
Make another roll also.
Okay. Intuition,
Yes, please.
even wider than last time.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. She's just oh yeah, no, I just whatever something Coral. She couldn't be here, so Coral The Walking Dead. Coral couldn't be in. She was sick, so yeah, I came in to try and help out and whatnot.
Did you lose anyone in the recent attack upon our city?
The attack upon our city,
Have
the
you not
Atlantis. Yeah, no, I didn't hear. What happened there?
The well, for
The attack.
starters,
Yeah. Oh, the attack. Yeah. No, everybody was out of town. Everybody's out of town.
so I can't help but feel that's absolutely odd. Really? Okay. Well, I'm glad that was the case. What do you have for me today? Tea, coffee? What did you bring?
Especially since you don't drink. You don't need to.
Well,
And she somehow didn't know that.
okay. So thanks for pointing that out. And I'll extend my hand to take whatever it is and say, did you make it the way I like?
Oh, I didn't know the way that you like it, sir. So it's just black, but I have some creams and some sugars here.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So how did you
You can make another intuition feat at +2.
+2? Okay.
Use all the colors of the
Okay,
rainbow this time.
How about all right, this is better. 90 on good is going to be yellow, strong yellow.
Her gills don't look right.
Okay, so all right. Kira,
Yes, sir.
it's quite obvious to me. Now, don't be alarmed. I am not upset, but it's quite obvious to me that your gills aren't quite what they should be. And I'm a little surprised that you even brought me something to drink at all. So why don't you be a little honest with me about why you're here and what this is about?
You're like the calmest freaking interrogator ever. She says, "You remember me. How could you forget our kiss?" Her hair turns red. Skin pretty much stays the same, but the gills go away. It's Mystique. Nice
Um,
Cali skulls across her waist
yeah.
like a belt.
Oh, Lady Mystique. How kind of you to see me again. This
She's not attacking.
okay. This is a good start.
She says, "You guys are onto something. You guys came. What's this called? Stop! I'm turning off the freaking private chat. Bunch of psychopaths. Anyway, so yeah, you guys you're what do you call it? She actually she says, "Please stay seated," and she sits down also across from you. Listen, you guys were onto something. Yeah, I'm tapping at all you guys. Oh, no, not you. Everybody else. I'm muting everybody. I'm hearing tapping or dice rolling. So anyway, she says, the Magneto. Listen, I talked to the guys. They asked what you were asking them and whatnot. We went and did our own investigation. Magneto wasn't there. And yet somehow they talked to him. They saw him. They knew that something was going on. Listen, I think you saw it yourself. We've got people who could cause illusions and whatnot. Maybe that's what was going on, or maybe it was some kind of a robot or something. I don't know. Nobody can remember ever shaking hands or touching him. Magneto is always one of those kind of people where you don't approach him. You know, you get summoned, and nobody goes up and shakes his hand or anything. And unless he touches you, you don't make the gesture otherwise. He's regal. You know what I'm saying? He's basically royalty to us. This is not the kind of thing he would do. He always has plans whenever he's going to pull something. You know, and it's always something that's going to benefit mutant kind. Attacking a city with some business guy who's never seemed to do anything towards mutants before, none of that makes sense. But somebody's trying to pin stuff on us, or at least cause a distraction by that. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know if it's not, but something's wrong. And whoever had Magneto there, that was not him.
Absolutely. The farthest that we've come is determining that it was Kree technology
Her
used
face
to
is aghast. What?
the while we can't be entirely certain that the source at Shield, which we obtained the information from, is playing us that sorry, we can't be entirely sure he isn't playing us, but the last we heard it was Kree technology used at the event. Currently it has been moved to an armor secure site. It's been very difficult for us to determine where that place may be. It's been tight-lipped, and then on top of that, there have been, I'm sure you've heard through the news, there's a problem below the surface as well as above with Atlantis and human relations because of an attack on the city itself and an attempted assassination of its monarch.
That I
I,
saw on TV. So somebody actually attacked Atlantis. That's what you were talking about. How
yes,
did they attack them?
the I personally spoke to Tiger Shark, and he said that a submarine launched a nuclear ordinance at the city.
She actually stands up at this and starts walking around, hands on the side of her head and everything. She turns it. She finally stops and shoulders still kind of scrunched up a little bit, but she looks you dead in the face. Are you sure that you're working for the good guys? If you're working for Shield?
Well, first and foremost, the Atlantean crown is where my loyalty is. The current Shield arrangement exists mostly as it's been benefiting us to give us the information I shared with you, a location where we have some vehicles and equipment to.
You give her all that information.
Mhm.
She says, listen, I know about this armor facility. I've never been able to infiltrate it. It's almost impossible to infiltrate, but it is a big deal. And I do know that the only way to enter this place is through teleportation. Nobody knows where the other gate is.
Whoa.
She says, if you
I
can find where that other gate is, that's the only way that you're going to be able to find this this machine and find out what's going on. Because if this is seriously Kree, all of these facilities, all of these Shield places, they're independent of each other while they still work with each other and they still outrank each other, and it's crazy. You have no idea how deep it goes.
oh
Excuse me. You need to
by
watch your back. She'll actually say, you need to watch your back, cutie.
well, I thank you. By the way, and it's a very soft, no sudden movements. I've been holding on to this. Would you like it back? And the firearm that she had given to me, say, it really has helped out, but I don't want to hold on to something that wasn't meant to be a permanent gift.
Well, it was meant to be a gift, just with the other side pointing at you. She touches your hand and says, you keep it. You might need it.
Do you, well, I appreciate that. May I ask another favor and work with you to mutual benefit or mutual gains and pursue this armor site? We have, or at least I know of a very gifted teleporter.
She's, do you have any, calm down over there, Paul. What do you call it? Do you have any contact slots available?
I have my detective espionage slot, which I have not cashed in.
Oh, gotcha.
I have and I have a blank slot that I have not cashed in. It has no requirement attached to it.
You could certainly use this as the blank one or even as the detective espionage one if you'd like.
Yeah, I was hoping because she seems very spy-ish, you know. Okay.
It's Mystique, man.
Yeah, so absolutely.
So, okay, write down Mystique as a contact. Go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. Do I have, if I'm
Just tell me
allowed,
what you get. Oh,
may I
what?
add, well, I was going to say, may I add karma
Oh,
to
no, no,
this?
no. This isn't a
Oh,
karma
okay.
roll.
All right, very good.
This is to determine your resources with her.
Yeah, 90 again.
90 is a +3. So off of typical. So that's remarkable.
Remarkable
Good,
relationship
excellent,
with
remarkable. Yeah.
Mystique.
Yes, remarkable resources with Mystique. Remarkable 26.
Cool.
So that's not too shabby. So and she'll do the same. She's got a spare slot available. It's a lot of what she does. So she what do you call it? She's going to take one of the skulls off of her belt and she's going to hand it to you. You can get a hold of me through this.
Amazing. Wow. I'm not familiar with such technology. I appreciate this.
Yeah, you'd be fine. Atlanteans are way higher tech than this nonsense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll
Well,
be
for
fine.
flattery, can definitely get you.
um, so she's gonna turn back into the coral form and just skedaddle.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to have any of the baked goods there
No,
on
Jesus
your,
Christ.
you know, take some back to your friends too, because I don't know how well
Oh,
without how well the fed or kept the brotherhood is right now. But
oh,
yeah,
I can't unmute people who chose to mute themselves. I guess I muted Knuckle Duster and I
No,
Paul.
I muted
Okay, cool. All right. Well, go figure. I can't unmute people. Okay.
You just
So
offer me the Brotherhood without me being there.
say again.
You just offer me up to the Brotherhood without me being there.
All right. So boom. What happens now, Clark?
I am going to get on the team communication channel.
Boom. All the information is shared.
Now, I want to make sure this isn't a shield one, just in case they are.
Oh no, this one's your guys.
Okay, very good.
You don't know how secure it is, but
Yeah,
it's
just
still
hope for the best.
regular radio communication. So technically, somebody with a broadband could find you
Yeah.
with a shortwave. Excuse me.
Okay. Well, men.
If I'm hearing teleporter, I guess I look at Dark Spirit like, I'm going to have to do this again, aren't I?
We've got to get in there somehow.
Well,
Unless we can find another entrance.
so you're at Clark. I'm sorry, Jacob, right? Jacob. What is
Yes.
your
Yes,
your
Jacob.
character's?
Mhm.
Um,
Jacob Marianis. Yep.
Yeah, I remember the Marianas part. So Jacob, she told you basically one teleport is the only way to get, or portal is the only way to get into armor, but we just have to figure out whether the portal that was in the AIM facility is the other portal or if it's someplace else, in which case that means Shield has been, I don't know if they have good ties with AIM or if AIM is like neutral and just make stuff for whoever.
And at the very least, Mystique knows where this place is,
Okay.
so we can set up a protected place where Dark Spirit can hopefully scope out and gather some information.
According to her, this place armor is so far underground that
Oh,
the only way to get there is
And
through teleportation.
anyway, with it being that secure of a facility, he has a range limitation.
Yep.
We couldn't get close enough anyway.
Yeah, even I probably can't get that far down, even if I knew exactly where it was. I could go like, just shy of a mile. So seems like this underground facility we have here is our best guess.
Do we think that the guy that runs the Radio Shack is involved?
You don't have any reason to believe he is.
No, so it's just underneath his.
Just an old guy
okay.
whose son is a hero or publicly known superhero.
Want to check video footage around the Lampley building. See if there's any security cameras around. See if we can see any of the beekeepers going into or out of.
Does this place have like a
somewhere in the
loading?
building.
Does this place have like a loading dock in the back, even for receiving like larger?
No, he doesn't get those kinds of deliveries. He just has regular stuff that comes right through the front of the shop. He doesn't make enough money to even keep the place running. It's only because his son is ridiculously rich that it stays functioning. And no security camera has footage has spotted this, that, or the other thing. Nobody in beekeeper suits. No AIM soldiers.
I mean, it hurt like nobody's business last time, but I'm willing to give it another shot to try and get down there.
The only problem with that is the rest of us getting in.
Mhm.
So I presume after I shared my information with you, you shared what you've discovered over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna, I don't know if I'll make it there before the end of the session, but I'll be making my way towards your location.
Okay. So we've gone 2 hours, and I think we can end it there. There was no conflict or anything, but you guys were able to stumble on one of the ways to get to here at least. Yeah, there's lots of plots that are open that you guys could go on. This is literally just one of them. But boom. Who's shaking dice? Oh my God, stop it.
Not me.
Everybody's like, I don't know. I'm sorry if I've been that grumpy. This somebody's like, Bill's gonna yell at me, isn't he?
I already got told to be muted, so it's this guy.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Like I said, I know I've been a little grumpy for this one. I apologize. Like my kids are sleeping right now. What I'm honestly thinking, like my school is on, both of their schools are on strike tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Rob Ford government. Screw that guy. What do you call? He's the premier of Ontario. Anyway, so since there's no school tomorrow, I'm honestly thinking about going in and just messing with them and just, hey guys, what's up? Woo, let's play. It's like, oh, I'm so mad at them. Every parent thinks that once in a while.
Well, I'm wondering, just thinking out loud, Bill, before you finish up our session or whatever. Like, do you guys think it would be worth it if Jacob looks like this guy's kid, like coming to visit him to get him out of the shop, and then we could, more properly snoop around, see if there's somebody with detective espionage can actually have a better role of looking around for.
Clark also has detective espionage.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking maybe I could be since the AIM people have the
like civilian clothes.
Well, no, since their faces are and everything are kind of obscured, I thought I could disguise myself as a AIM person showing up with something or to collect something.
Once Knuckle Duster, if he manages to successfully teleport in and out, maybe taking a Lantadroid down there, and he can disguise himself as an AIM person and just wander.
That was originally my plan, was to see if I can get down there, and then once I'm down there, I can get back there without a problem, and then come back up, go back. This is before Landroid left for his office. I was going to go back to the thing, and then teleport Landroid back down there and go with him. But he had left by the time I had gotten to all the teleporting shenanigans.
The teleportation shenanigans.
That will be the name of this episode.
Teleportation shenanigans. And you said he's not allowed to use karma for a blind teleport, right?
That's right.
Will he have, if he tries it again, would he have any pluses because he's already attempted it?
No,
it was literally a second, not even a second, and the only thing he saw was blind shooting pain. You ever see the color of pain? It's a really ugly color, Paul. It's a terrifying freaking color.
It's not as terrifying as falling from a 6-story building.
Well, yeah.
Never mind.
I remember that.
You've seen pain. Fine. No, but like literally teleporting into something, you can't use your body armor to protect. So
but it's a good thing I have a lot of health.
Yeah.
And you can argue
I-
he's doing it to, it's not the same spot anyway, like, because he's doing it blind, so that's why it's a new roll each time. So.
Nah.
It's like I could have done that 2 more times before I would have had the guarantee stop if the damage didn't get any worse each time. And then I would have been in very critical condition.
Yeah, especially if you went into an electrical line or something like that.
Oof.
You know, a bunch of conduit. You're like, no.
We happen to be checking some black hole technology down here. Roll a new character.
Or he winds up accidentally teleporting into like the subway. Like, whoa.
That he could use his body armor for.
Scott and I were talking about that last week. I'm all down to make a new character.
Can I not do another astral projection and sort of try and map out by doing a number of paces across and how many body lengths down to give an idea of how far down to go, to give him a bit more of an idea?
You could try, but as far as like doing that, teleporting someplace isn't about knowing necessarily how far to go and things like it. That's a part of it, but most of it is just looking around and knowing the where you're at, because it's technically it's a bodily thing, but it's almost like a psychic power. If he could see what's around him, then he knows where he can go. Seeing a picture of something and you're within distance means you could probably teleport there. You might not know you're not going to know what the outside of the building looks like. You're not going to know necessarily how far you went. It's just, oh, I'm here now.
I'll draw a little picture. There you go. There's a box.
Okay. Well, AIM is an established organization that aids crime. They're not like Star Labs or something neutral. So, I mean, I know we lose karma for killing people, but Dark Spirit, can't you just start taking kneecaps or doing whatever you got to do with your soul gun to clear? Just what's the word I'm looking for?
Simulate like an emergency in the facility.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that could be one way of, unless they bring down some type of blast shield or something like that that prevents anybody from getting in.
Yeah, I need to be physical though down there to cause them any damage.
You can only do stuns if you're on a different plane when you're doing it.
Well, I mean, still incapacitated or at least freaked
Oh
out
yeah, what if
people.
he stuns like a whole bunch of people and they don't have they would think they're still under attack, so that would raise the alarm.
Just ideas. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Pretty much any chance for me to choke out some dude with black tentacles, I'm on board.
It'd be cool if you could make it like a little animated thing, so they think, "Oh man, the great old ones have finally decided to."
So the scientists would come out to investigate.
Yeah, or
I can create objects and make it look like. And given my occult lore background, I could technically make it look like a Cthulhu type of creature.
Sure.
I'm just here to punch things.
Well, no. Well, Well, which way? So which way do we want to go here? Want to create the emergency simultaneously in the facility and then something in the shop to see.
Actually, yeah.
Because I don't know how we would be able to stealth in there if we don't really technically know how to get in there.
That was
knowing how to get in. I don't think the actual electronics shop knows anything of what's going on underneath him.
Right.
I'm not even sure there's from Dark Spirit's description that from what he saw that there is another way in other than that teleporter. So
there would have to be another way in. From what Mystique said, the only way to get into the armor facility is through a teleporter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they teleport out to this facility underneath the electronics shop, are they just staying there all the time?
Well,
Do they have to go out? They'd have to go out to get food.
Might be another portal in the AIM, but might be more than one portal in the AIM facility. Like if they need to go out and get supplies and stuff.
Could be like a chain.
Right.
the way Chris phrased it made the ideas seem like they should be happening at the same time. So while you animate an object in there, the stuns from Dark Spirit's gun could be happening, and then that might be attributed to the object that you've animated on top of whatever commotion it could create. Just to really make it. I don't know. It's a fun idea, so I'm just trying to make it work.
Can your dark energy borrow through the ground?
We can go wherever I want to send it, technically. As long as there's as long as there's enough space for air to get through, I can technically, as long as it's not vacuum sealed, it could be the size of a pinhole, and I can have it spread out from there.
It's got to have air going through to it.
Yeah, because if you assume if it's a sealed completely, even though it's coming from another dimension, I would assume that it's almost like a liquid, that it needs to be able to. It can't go through a solid object. It has to kind of, or otherwise it doesn't phase through material. It has to kind of grab onto it. Its source is immaterial, but it basically acts like a physical force when I manipulate it. At least that's my understanding of how the thing works. So, like, if they got if their beekeeper suits are vacuum sealed, I wouldn't be able to get in there unless you punctured a hole in there, and then they'd be toast because then I'd be able to spread this stuff out. But
can you dig down?
Well, technically, even Knuckle Duster could just do the ground strike and punches a hole into the ceiling, make a hole.
It is quite far down, though. So
I do not know how long I've been waiting for someone to just say, "Could we just dig?"
Oh, it's not on my mind. It's just think that would be real obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
getting all the
Plus, none of us having the seeming to have it quickly.
I get spayed.
Well, I guess we could. Okay. Since it is New York City, I guess we could pose as not Conrail. Yeah. We could, as city employees, working on the infrastructure underneath of the building, which would get us to kind of into the sewers, and then we could see if there is another entrance to this building, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and we got somebody that could pretend to be a foreman and a cop. If anybody comes by to give you any trouble, we just would have to get the suits, the outfits, with like the PPE and the high vis and the hard hats, and pretend like
stuff at Walmart.
The reason I wasn't going for the digging originally was because it kind of gives away that we're trying to get in. You know, whereas the teleportation, we can get in there without them knowing, because I don't want them all on high alert with their weapons. But, you know, if that's the way we're going to get in.
With my power stunt that I did last week, where I phased out of the grip of the man in the suit, could I do a power stunt to phase through the ground into the facility?
You 100% can.
And if I did that with my cell phone, video.
Look, the big brain on Scott.
Using that amazing reason.
Pulp Fiction, in case nobody gets that reference.
Besides Chris.
Besides, of course, Chris gets it. You want to do that?
And then just have Knuckle Duster keep teleporting us in now that once he realizes he's got a visual.
I can't do it to everybody. I only have enough karma for a couple power stunts.
Well, we've got the pool as well, haven't we?
Yep.
Yep.
And as that's for everyone, let's do it.
I'm adding karma.
I'll add some more in the pool, I think.
Second time you're doing it, Scott?
Second time I'm doing it, got to get into the red.
Yep. Last time to get in the red, though.
Remarkable 70 to 95. So I'm adding, using 125 karma.
Sweet.
The
You
100
can
and the
or you can
25
start
to add.
phasing. You're just like, okay. Allow yourself to go through the. Oop, there we go. You start going down for a little while, maybe 30 seconds or so at a pretty typical speed, and all of a sudden, boom, you're like, oh, hey, and you're right there in the middle of the facility. Nobody around. You are in the break room. There's a window over there, like one of those big old windows and whatnot. There's a time clock over here, like the punching time clock. Dude, and there is literally nobody in here. You lucky son of a, you know what I'm going to say. So, but you forgot your phone. No, I'm joking.
Video to them.
Done. You see
All
the
right.
facility, you think you're good.
Okay, who first?
I think an android, I think. No, or Nephilim. Because
Here's the real first thing. I'm going to blink in there first, and then quickly blink back to guarantee that I'm going to make it there safely and bring the others there safely.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. No, you can bring somebody right now.
Okay, I was just double checking that I would be good to do.
Yeah, you're totally good. You can see the facility. You got it.
Okay.
Once you
so-
actually go there the first time, you don't even need him to hold up the phone anymore.
All right, so I will first do Atlandroid. So
Okay.
100 for the stunt, and I've already done it twice. This will be my third time doing it.
So you just need the yellow.
And I will still add karma to that.
I would.
10 karma because that's a perfect 100.
Nice. Nice. Couple of those this week. Okay. You teleport back up by yourself.
Yep.
Scott puts away his phone. The Celestia phone.
Next, I will do Nephilim, spending the 100, and I'm gonna have to dig into the pool if this is a rough roll because I only have 29 karma after the 100.
I'm going to put 150 in the pool.
No.
150, that will put us at
Paul's like, I
707.
believe in you.
I'll definitely need it. No, not that one. There we go. Yeah, under is it Remarkable?
Damn it,
Come on,
Mass.
Yes, Remarkable. All right. Okay, so yeah, I gotta get down the yellow. 31, 2. That's 35 more, so that's gonna be 29 from my karma, and then 6 more from the pool,
Okay, good.
and then I'm out of karma completely. The rest is gonna have to come from the pool. Last one for Dark Spirit. And that's should be in the yellow. Yeah, that's in the yellow. All right.
So
10 more out
110.
of, yep.
Sweet.
110 out of it.
And now you have officially done it 3 more times. That's 5 times total. The remaining 5 times you got to do this, you just need the green.
Yep.
Not too shabby. Make sure you do that mark that you did it 5 times. Yep. Tally, whatever you're going to do, you should be fine. Okay? Sexy. You guys are all down there. And we will continue this in the next session. Because, wow. Everybody can take 40 karma each for, besides all the karma that I gave individuals as you guys were going on. Because,
We should have, looks like 591 in the pool.
Okay. That's a big karma pool. Me
Yeah.
likey.
I'm gonna have to start rebuilding my own.
Yeah. All right, we good?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Hope you
Awesome.
all enjoyed. This is a major brainstorming session. But yeah, going to be a whole lot of karma. Hopefully, there's going to be a whole lot of karma being gotten in the next episode. All right, Professor Bill and crew, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.